On September 19, 1940, a Polish soldier named Witold Pilecki entered Warsaw with a purpose. That day, he was arrested by Nazi forces.
He was sent to Auschwitz, the infamous Nazi death camp that killed over 2 million people during World War II.
While many other people were arrested and sent to concentration camps during World War II, the case of Witold Pilecki is like no other.
Pilecki voluntarily entered Auschwitz to gain information on the cruelties of the camp. During a 3-year period, he would publish 3 reports, set up a resistance against the Nazis inside the camp, and save lives.
In the short term, Pilecki led one of the most dangerous missions in history, documenting the horrors of Auschwitz. In the long run, his reports on the brutality used by Nazi authorities helped ensure that similar events would not occur again. Most importantly, he took a stand against Adolf Hitler and his mistreatment of Jews.
After World War I, a German soldier named Adolf Hitler became infuriated because of the German loss. He, and many other anti-Semites across Germany, believed that the Jews were the main reason for Germany's defeat.
In the coming years, Hitler gained rapid popularity and rose to power, becoming Chancellor of Germany on January 20th, 1933. Shortly after his inauguration, Hitler and his party opened their first concentration camp, Dachau.
In 1935, the Nuremberg Laws were passed, beginning the Nazi persecution of Jews. In 1938, Nazi officials led German citizens to burn synagogues and smash the windows of Jewish shops in a tragic night known as Kristallnacht.
In September of 1939, the Nazis invaded Poland, quickly occupying it and starting World War II. Starting in late 1941 was the mass transportation of the Jewish ghettos to concentration or death camps.
So this virtually brings us to Auschwitz. The whole point behind the death camps was to make it easier to kill people, to industrialize the killing, so it's not a person. So the idea was to build this camp to kill people as anonymously and efficiently as possible.
Out of the 20,000 concentration camps in the Holocaust, the most brutal out of them all was Auschwitz-Birkenau. Auschwitz was used as both a labor camp and a death camp by the Nazis.
During the Holocaust, more than 2 million people were killed at Auschwitz, and as many as 12,000 Jews were killed per day. Killing methods used by Nazi authorities in Auschwitz included gas chambers, gassing trucks, mass shootings, throwing children in ovens or burning pits, injections, and torture.
Witold Pilecki voluntarily took a stand against the wrongdoings and the terrible events happening day by day in Auschwitz.
Witold Pilecki was born on May 13, 1901 in Russia. During World War I, Pilecki joined a scout section of the Polish Army.
He then served in the regular Polish Army during the Polish-Soviet War from 1919 to 1921. After the war, he graduated from high school and joined the Polish Army in a cavalry regiment.
In August of 1939, Pilecki was assigned to the position of cavalry platoon commander and fought against the Germans in their invasion of Poland.
After the Germans seized Poland, Pilecki and his commander, Major Jan Wojdarkiewicz, created the secret Polish Army, one of the first underground resistance movements against the Nazis.
By 1940, the secret Polish Army had about 8,000 men and a good deal of artillery. While Pilecki had a very accomplished past, his most heroic deeds were still to come.
In 1940, Pilecki devised a plan to help many struggling people. He pitched his idea to Polish authorities of sneaking into the concentration camp of Auschwitz.
At the time, very little information was known about Auschwitz. Most people believed that it was a prisoner of war camp. After much debate, Pilecki was cleared to carry out his plan.
On September 19, 1940, Pilecki arrived in Warsaw and got himself caught by Nazis by way of a street roundup under the name Tomasz Serafiński. After 2 days of waiting at the Light Horse Guards barracks, Pilecki and many other captured Poles were sent to Auschwitz.
Pilecki had 3 main objectives once inside Auschwitz. The first was to set up a military organization on the inside to keep up morale. His second goal was to provide news from the outside world. His last goal was to prepare to detachments to take control of Auschwitz by force if orders were given.
Once inside Auschwitz, Pilecki began assembling a network of prisoners called the Union of Military Organizations, or the ZOW. By March of 1942, Pilecki's web of prisoners consisted of 500 inmates. It is estimated that this number nearly doubled by 1943.
His plan to, organize, the inmates at the concentration camp was bold. It was kind of ingenious, maybe a little crazy.
Every once in a while, one of Pilecki's reports on Auschwitz would be smuggled out of Auschwitz and into the hands of the Polish underground.
In 1943, Pilecki began plotting his escape from Auschwitz. He felt like he had accomplished his goals and needed to return to his homeland. His decision to escape was based on the belief that an attack on Auschwitz was necessary.
On April 26, 1943, Pilecki and two fellow inmates overpowered a security guard and made a run for it. Pilecki had made it through 947 days and 2,500 roll calls in Auschwitz.
That short time was from hour to hour, from day to day. He was fighting against the Nazi Germany and against the imprisonment. And he smuggled out intelligence about the concentration camp, built resistance organization within the walls, inside the hell on earth Auschwitz.
Pilecki successfully navigated his way back to Warsaw in the Polish Army headquarters. Much to his surprise, his former commander, Jan Woldarkiewicz, was arrested. Unfortunately, the new leadership didn't support his idea of attacking Auschwitz.
Thus, in the short term, Pilecki's findings went unrecognized, and Pilecki was very much underappreciated for his great efforts. However, Poland did use some of Pilecki's findings in a report called The Mass Extermination of Jews in German-Occupied Poland, which was sent to the Allied forces.
After escaping Auschwitz, Pilecki was captured by Soviet forces in the Warsaw Uprising. He was freed, but later was arrested again by communist Polish authorities for refusing requests for him to leave the country. He was interrogated and went through a show trial similar to those of the Stalinist Soviet Union, ending in his conviction and execution.
While his actions were underappreciated and unrecognized in the short term, Pilecki is now known as a national hero.
In 1989, communism collapsed in Poland, and the Polish citizens were able to speak about Pilecki. In 1990, Pilecki was acquitted of all charges from the show trial.
He began to be appreciated for his invaluable contributions to help put an end to the atrocities happening in German concentration camps. Pilecki's reports on Auschwitz were published in an English translation for the first time in 2012 in the book The Auschwitz Volunteer: Beyond Bravery. This was the world's first look into Pilecki's incredible work.
Pilecki was posthumously recognized with numerous awards, including the Commander's Cross of the Order of Polonia Restituta in 1995, the Order of the White Eagle, and the Order of the Star of Perseverance in 2006.
In 2013, the Polish Army posthumously promoted him from captain to colonel. There are now many sculptures, streets, plaques, and murals dedicated to Pilecki throughout Poland.
Stick to your ideals until the end. Be unbreakable until the end. And that they can take away your body, kill you, but they cannot break your spirit or kill your spirit. Your spirit will stay alive, and if not now, will inspire people decades from now.
It's about when you're faced with, I don't like to throw the word evil around because we use it too simplistically, but when you are faced with something that is profoundly immoral, and you take a stand at great risk to your own life. He went into a concentration camp, for Christ's sakes, right? It's insane with the risk he took. And to take that kind of risk and take a stand, I think, is a profound lesson. And I think one that is maybe the best lesson we can learn from him and from people like him.